I'm Joe Treitman, the managing partner for the Acuity Group. It's a small niche boutique executive search firm specializing in human resource positions across multiple industries, but generally speaking, people who have 5 or more years experience in the HR professions across all the disciplines within HR. I've been running this firm for about 20 years and been on the corporate side before that. As another part of the business model we have is we belong to a group called NPA. It's a professional group of executive search firms. And Michael was one of our presenters at a meeting one day, and I was quite impressed with his program. Gave it a try, and the rest is history.
So how long you been using it?
I don't know, maybe about 3 years or so.
Wow. Well, since you're placing HR and talent acquisition people, I'm curious what kind of feedback you have from the candidates and from the employers, if any.
Well, it's been really interesting feedback. That's what surprised me most of all. I was using it initially with mostly generalists and compensation people who weren't necessarily in the TA space. But then I had a couple of large global talent acquisition leadership roles and was so amazed to see how much of those people appreciated it too. That really surprised me. And so each and every one of my candidates who was a finalist for this particular global TA role raved about the program. And then I got feedback from the head of HR who had interviewed each of these people, telling me what unusual questions that the candidates had asked him. And I had recognized every one of those questions from Interview Mastery. So that was quite the surprise.
Yeah. Oh, any interesting stories?
Well, one was not actually an HR thing. I was helping out somebody that I know outside of work who was interviewing a trainer who was interviewing for a corporate wellness management role. And so all her experience had to do with teaching classes, and I had taken classes with her. And so I introduced her to Interview Mastery, and she used that to prepare for her interview to run a fitness center. And after her interview, she said that every one of the questions she was asked was on Interview Mastery.
Any advice for other recruiters who are considering using Interview Mastery?
It's a helpful tool. I still do much to Michael's chagrin probably, I still do my own prep for each candidate because I want to make sure that I'm really holding their hand all along the way. But that said, it's really a helpful tool. They come back and say it helped, but it puts people in the right mindset. And they all come back and say thank you, which is remarkable.
What would you say to another recruiter who's kind of on the fence?
Give it a try. It's that simple, because if you use it with your candidates and then ask them for their feedback, they'll give it to you and you'll have your answer. The other thing that I do with it is I use it as a marketing tool. And in that case, I have many times that there are candidates that are in very active searches for whatever reason, and I know I'm not going to be able to help them, but I want to give them something. And then I also offer them the Interview Mastery, and they're very grateful. And hopefully what goes around comes around.